Hey, party people, it's Cliff. Good morning. I'm sitting in the middle of an intersection here. Don't worry, we're going through. But hey, there's so much stuff out there that's negative, right? Look at this Datsun, I think it is. He's going fast, whatever. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stay positive. You know, I'm gonna look at the world and I'm gonna look at all the good things. I'm gonna look at all the benefits. I'm gonna tell you about my knowledge about working in the industry in Hollywood. I'm just going to share with you. I'm just going to be a nice, polite, interesting morning conversation with you and just keep it really lighthearted. Maybe talk about some news topics, maybe talk about, stuff that's really concerning. Like that whole Christopher Nolan, movie, the Odyssey. Apparently there's a whole bunch of backlash to it. That's okay. You know, that's the thing with Hollywood movies. Like, you have the right as an audience member to either, to criticize it or not. But I find it funny that the YouTube algorithm pops in and it's like Christopher Nolan's, oh, it's the tragedy, oh, it's so much backlash. And then I guess there's like Elon Musk was also talking about how Hollywood is woke. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. And I said this on another channel, is that the movie would not have gotten made had it not been for the director's name and all the actors that are portraying it. Why? The Odyssey is a classic tale, written by, Homer, that guy. But it's one of the oldest tales of time, and it's been told so many times before in so many different ways and so many different versions. And now it's just the latest version. But when you have those kind of names and those like people who are talented attached to it, and they're shooting it on 70 millimeter, they're going back to the original, to people who actually cut it on film and filmed on film, and like IMAX developed a soundproof box for the thing, and they could, it's the first time that the entire film's filmed with IMAX. Like, that takes a lot of money. And the only way that you're going to unlock that kind of money to get a movie like that made is if you have those kind of people, like those people attached. Nobody is going to go see a movie or talk about a movie with actors or a director that nobody's heard about. It's happened all the time. I guarantee you, it's like, name a movie that you liked that you didn't know was in it. Name a movie you liked that didn't have a director attached that you didn't know of. Right? Like, you're not going to go see it. And that's the game. That's the play. And I know that there's a lot of folks out there that are sensationalizing this backlash and this drama and this thing. Well, they're doing the same thing. They're capitalizing on the popularity of the movie, like, essentially. Uh-oh, I got an alarm going off on this thing. Hold on. Stop. There we go. Is it still recording? All right, good. It's still recording, I guess. Oh, man. But that's just how it works, right? Because, like, look, this movie got started, it was in the making like 3 years ago, probably. They got the funds, and, Nolan talks with all of his friends in Hollywood and says, hey, I got this movie, you should do it. And then, all of the actors, like assistants and the folks, the agencies, like, they all got to figure out their schedules, they all got to put it together, right? And look, it's no like, it by now, but Matt Damon was on Saturday Night Live like 2 weeks ago or a week ago or so, and of course that coincides with the movie. That's how they do it, right? I think Ryan Gosling was on earlier in the year when Project Hail Mary came out. So the whole big thing, right, is all a system. And the only tried and true method that we'll see if the movie flops or not is when it comes out on when it comes out, and if people go watch it or not. Now, here's the thing, right? If people go out and watch it and it makes its money back, then everyone is going to move on, and all of the people who are complaining about it and the backlash and the this and the that, it'll all disappear. And that's the thing that it doesn't have any, like, the folks that are talking about the backlash and talking about this, like, that's not gonna last, right? That's not gonna matter. But what will matter is that film's longevity. If it just gets put out there into the world, and 10 years later it'll be a $3.99 DVD in a Walmart bin, in the back of the store. Like, that's how Hollywood works. Big shiny new object thing that you get to, like, watch and talk about and comment and get all your views, and then I'm doing the same thing right here. But staying positive is that whoever worked on that movie got paid, because the money has already been spent to make the movie. There is a knowledge base of learning, and with IMAX developing, like, new tech, new stuff for that movie, there's knowledge to be gained from making films into the future, maybe making it cheaper, maybe relearning stuff from the past, like relearning that, and that's a positive, right? Like, it's funny that a lot of news headlines will say, oh, we spent, the U.S. military spends like this much amount of money on this research, and it's completely wasted, right? I think the littoral combat ship, there's one of the ones called the Zumwalt class, and it was a unique hull design, and the Navy built it, and then they're going to decommission all the ships, and they found out that it wasn't worth it. And they're like, and the news always likes to put out there, oh, it's, it cost X amount of dollars, it cost this, it cost that, to make, and it was a waste of time because they're removing all the ships. It's like, no, it wasn't. Like, because the cost of capital is actually the knowledge and the experience and the learning that comes with building that ship, that comes with running that ship, that comes with doing all the whatever the thing is on the ship. And that's the same thing with these big, huge tentpole movies. It's this Christopher Nolan thing. These big tentpole movies, ILM's going to be, like, doing their work, Industrial Light and Magic. There's going to be so many, like, VFX like houses working on it, and then there's going to be so many trailer houses working on it, which also have to get paid. And then there's also like the marketing places and the the reason why it's called the Hollywood industry is because it's a giant industry. There's probably product placement and advertisements and all that stuff that's happening. I remember way back in the day working on Mission Impossible 5, the trailer, and we had BMW wanted to do a collaboration. I know it's collaboration, but like BMW wanted to do a sponsorship, and so BMW sent over their car footage. We cut it together. Then we greenlit all the trailer spots for the commercials for BMW, the Mission Impossible. Sent it back over to BMW without any of the Mission Impossible footage, because they couldn't, because we couldn't send that out yet. The movie wasn't out. BMW approved it, and there it was, like a spot, It's all product placement and product advertising, and everyone and their mom is going to go out and promote this, like, from everywhere. And it's just one of those things where, like, this Hollywood industry is going to be, it is literally an industry, and that's the reason why it's called an industry instead of just like your classroom science project, because however much money it costs to make it, like, everybody's in some form or fashion working on it in order to make it happen. And that's the thing. It's like, if it makes money, great. If it doesn't make money, there's always the next project. And that's the thing that happens, right? Like Hollywood is so big, right? Like, I think everyone I think everyone's emotions like really get attached, obviously, because that's what we sell. We sell emotions, um, in the form of moving pictures. And it's the same thing with anybody, pointing a camera to themselves and hitting the record button. But Hollywood is so big that I used to work for a reality a TV show company, which was owned by Warner Brothers, but you would never know it. But they were owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers gave us projects, and then we gave them projects. And you know what happened? The projects just moved back and forth between two Warner Brothers companies. And the money basically flowed from Warner Brothers from the right hand of Warner Brothers into the left hand of Warner Brothers, and work got done. And you want to know why all these billion-dollar companies, all right, people, just keep on going through, I guess, through your red lights. But it's one of those things where, like, these Hollywood movies, these giant, big Hollywood movies, they have so much structure behind them, and they have so many different avenues of like generating income and generating money. It's like, do you pay an internet subscription? It's going to Hollywood. Do you watch stuff on YouTube? Like, some of that advertising money, the 30% that YouTube takes, some of it's going to Hollywood, right? Like, are you do you have an internet connection from somewhere? Like, that's going to Hollywood. Like, everything, like, it's one of these industries that's so big that it doesn't matter, if you are enjoying content, right? Like, for instance, are you streaming on Twitch? It's like, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Amazon is making, movies. Like, it's all in a giant slosh bucket, like the money. So, I just find it funny that there's a very specific, like, oh, the backlash is this and the backlash is that. It's so focused on, like, see, every kind of backlash is focused on the thing that is most popular, the thing that everybody wants to watch. Why? Because everybody wants to watch it, right? It's like nobody's gonna backlash, like, me saying something terrible. Nobody, because nobody's watching this stuff. Maybe it'll be hilarious in the future, like somebody will clip this and then they'll be like, oh, see, he was always a terrible person, and there's like, 300 and 400 videos online talking about whatever. I don't know. I find it funny. Backlashes are sort of a, waste of time, essentially. Oh boy, what is this guy doing? He's trying to back in. Stay in your fucking lane, buddy. Yeah, just like that. Oh, backlash. No. You just gotta wait for people who are doing their thing. It's hilarious. But anyway, hopefully you guys are doing okay out there. That's a little bit of insight into Hollywood. We'll see how this Christopher Nolan movie does, and if it does well, then you'll never hear about the backlash again. So, but until next time, you guys keep on being good out there. Bye.